Hi students, and welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian and I'm streaming to you from beautiful Victoria here in Western Canada. I hope everybody is having an amazing week so far. Students, this is an IELTS speaking class. You will be practicing your speaking. You will have a chance to speak with me in this class, watching YouTube and using Zoom for interactions. The focus of the Part 2 cue card in today's class is a person that you would like to meet for a day or hang out with. Welcome, Jeffrey. Hi, Ibrahim. Nice to see students joining in. Everyone, this lesson is presented to you by aehelp.com. For academic IELTS, visit us there. For the general IELTS, check us out at gieltshelp.com. These are our websites. They power these live classes. They will help you get to where you need to go. High IELTS band scores. This is our academic IELTS website here. We are an IDP affiliate, a British Council partner, and an IELTS test registration center. We're here to help you overcome the challenges of English and communication. Click this big red button. Enter the code FUTURE10 for an extra 10% discount, and there you go. You're using the course as long as you need. It is a one-time payment for lifetime access. For general IELTS, it's the same idea. It's gieltshelp.com. Again, click that big red button and you are ready to go. Students, when you're a premium user of the course, you will have 2 extra classes on Thursdays and Fridays. If you would like to check out those classes, just follow this link here. Okay, I'll put it into the chat as well. And for those of you who are premium users, make sure to link the apps Academic IELTS Help and General IELTS Help. So go to your app store, download Academic IELTS Help, link it to aehelp.com, and link General IELTS Help to gieltshelp.com. Instagram is IELTS_AEHelp and GIELTS Help. For questions, comments, concerns, just send an email, adrian@aehelp.com or admin@aehelp.com. Welcome, Carolina, our chat moderator. You can see her in blue in the chat here. She is here to help us as well. Welcome to all of our other students. Rasham, Lungild, good to have you all in the class. I'm looking at the chat, see if there's any important points that we need to pay attention to. Students, right now it's speaking. Tomorrow for premium users, it's actually going to be a task to writing, and then speaking again on Friday. Okay. Subscribe to the channel, follow us, check out videos that we keep uploading. Here's the one for YouTube. Welcome, Gazi, to the class. Thank you for that super chat donation. That's super nice of you, Gazi. Very kind. There we go. All right, let's get into some speaking. Students, the IELTS speaking, it's 12 to 15 minutes. It's an interview, usually face-to-face. I do recommend taking the face-to-face version instead of the computer version if you can. I think it's better. I think, humans, we still interact best when we're sitting face-to-face with the person. And then the examiner will begin the interview by saying, welcome to the speaking section of the IELTS exam. My name is Adrian. I will be your examiner for this part of the test. We are conducting this test at Exam Center R7G941 in Victoria, BC. The time right now is 10 a.m. This is candidate number 4432-7819 and examiner number 99438. Let's begin. May I see your identification? Give a nice full sentence answer for this. Yes. Here it is. Please take a look at my credentials. Okay. Make sure, students, that you speak in full sentences right away. Okay. During that time when the examiner is introducing the speaking, that's when you really should be just focused, taking a couple of deep breaths and thinking, okay, I just have to speak my best English. I have to stay on topic, answer full sentences, and focus on explanations and examples. Okay, so during the examiner's intro time, focus on a couple of deep, calming breaths. Remember to give answers plus explanations plus examples and stay on topic. Okay. Jungsu, thank you. That's very kind of you. Okay. All right, so again, the examiner says, may I see your identification? That's when you really focus in, and these parts you practice so they're really natural, nice and automatic. Risham says, certainly, here it is, please have a look. Yeah, and this is the absolute minimum. Students, I don't, you're not going to lose marks if you just say sure or here you go, but it doesn't set up for a great speaking performance. Okay. Alexander has this answer here for us. Yes, Shirley, here's my passport, which I used to register for this test. Please have a look. Okay, good. Those are all good. Then the examiner will ask for your name. Again, give them your full name in a full sentence. So when they say, what is your name? Tell them your name and what you want to be called. So say my name is John Ainsworth. My given name is John. Please just call me John. Okay. So nice full sentence answers. You're in a formal situation. All right. Students, then the examiner will say, okay, for part one, I will ask you a couple of questions to get to know you better and some questions on a general topic. Do you work or study? Again, nice full sentence answers, explanations. So maybe you'll say something like, I am both employed and I am a student of chemistry at the University of Warsaw. Okay, for example. All right. I work as a hotel clerk. It helps me to pay my bills. Okay. Nice full sentence answers, good grammar, don't make mistakes in the beginning, it's awkward. Of course, lots of videos will tell you you're not getting marked for these first few questions. Technically, you're not, or I should say theoretically you're not, but technically in some ways you are. That means that they're not putting down numbers on their sheet for mistakes. But if you're making mistakes during an introduction, for sure your examiner is going to be thinking, this student's probably not a band 7 or 8. Okay. Band 7, band 8 candidates can introduce themselves with no mistakes. Okay. Right, so do you work or study? I am both employed and I am a student of chemistry at the University of Warsaw. I work as a hotel clerk. It helps me to pay my bills. Okay. All right. Love Status, what a name, says, I recently completed my diploma in civil engineering. Right now, I am working in a construction farm as a site engineer. Okay, all right. Probably put a period there. Big R there. Comma after the time clause. I am working in a construction farm. Okay, that's kind of interesting for me. I'm not sure what that means. As a site engineer. If I'm your examiner, I would maybe ask you here, what is a construction farm? Not too sure what that is. Okay, Gazi says, I work and study simultaneously. I am working as a part-time employee at a local pizza restaurant, and studying for the IELTS exam, where I have been burning the midnight oil to get a band 7.5. Okay. Yeah, it's not bad, Gazi. I wouldn't use the word simultaneously here, because it sounds like you're delivering pizza at the same time as you're studying, which is possible. I guess while you're waiting to deliver the pizza, you could be reading your books, but it's a little bit strange for me. So I work and I study. I'm working as a part-time employee at a local pizza restaurant and studying for the IELTS exam. And I wouldn't use the word where here. I think that's a little bit awkward as well. I've been burning the midnight oil to get a band 7.5. No space before a period or a comma, everybody. It follows the last character of the last word of the sentence or phrase. Okay. And then they might ask you, the examiner, one or two more kind of general questions, but they'll likely switch to the topic of part one, especially if you're doing a good job. They're just going to get right into it. They'll say, let's talk about food. How often do you eat in a day? Give me a nice full sentence answer. Students, remember to repeat, copy what I say, copy how I say it. It's good practice. And when you hear this question, how often, remember qualitative and quantitative. Okay, so qualitative is maybe something like a few times a day. And quantitative is like 3 or 4. Okay, so those are numbers. All right. So remember to use your qualitative and your quantitative language. Ichika says, I have 3 meals a day: breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and some healthy snacks in the evening like granola bars and a protein shake. Okay, it's not bad. So I would say that if you said this really fluently, I would give you like a band 6.5. Anybody know why? So why would I not give Lichika more than a band 6.5 for this? I have 3 meals a day: breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and some healthy snacks in the evening like granola bars and a protein shake. So, I mean, you know, you could still get a much higher band score, and you don't have to answer really long for every question, but why do you think at this point I'm only saying like it's between fluent and good? So 6.5 is like between fluent, and capitalize that, fluent, and good. Band 6 is fluent, band 7 is good, so 6.5 is between. Alexander says it's just a very generic usual answer. Yeah, it is. It's kind of a generic usual answer. Risham says you should explain that, right? Yeah. Yeah, students, always think of an explanation. So always consider the explanation, the reason for your answer. Okay. So, Lachika, why is it that you choose to have 3 meals a day: breakfast, lunch, dinner, and then some healthy snacks? What's the purpose behind that, right? So maybe you'll complete your idea with something like, I find that this diet helps to keep me in good shape and full of energy for my busy days. Okay, so even just some explanation like this can really help you to boost your mark. Okay, so this will take your mark from a band 6.5 at least to a band 8. Okay, so again, students, try to think in this way. Answer, explanation, example. Okay, Chica, so how often do you eat in a day? I have 3 meals a day: breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and some healthy snacks in the evening like granola bars and protein and a protein shake. I find this diet helps to keep me in good shape and full of energy for my busy days. Okay, or if I don't want to repeat days here, I would say schedule. Okay. All right. Here's an interesting expression for everyone, or an interesting phrase. I have 3 square meals in a day. Does everybody know what a square meal is? And no, it's not just referring to a sandwich that's the shape of a square if looked at from above. Okay, potentially. So what does a square meal mean? Rasham says equal amount. Gazi says, I'm not a big fan of food. I eat only 2 meals. The first one around 10 a.m. and another major meal is around 5. That is because I do not like to eat in the early mornings. Yesterday I had some snacks around 10 a.m. Okay. A square meal means a whole meal, a filling and nutritious, holistic meal. Okay. Okay, it's a square meal. Gloria says, I have 3 square meals a day. Cereal for breakfast, which provides energy for my busy days. Snacks for lunch and a light diet for dinner. Yeah, Gloria, if I were your examiner, I would say fine. If I were your father or your mother, I would say, Gloria, snacks for lunch is not a square meal. So if I were your examiner, I would say that's fine. But if I were mom and dad, I would say, Gloria, snacks for lunch is not a square meal. Okay. All right. Ibrahim's like, I think a kebab could be a square meal. Yeah, a square meal usually means that it's got a few different ingredients, right? Exactly. Okay, let's try another question here, everybody. I see some good answers. Students, I am looking at the chat here. So I am reviewing your answers as you're putting them in. And again, for those of you watching who are enjoying this class, to enjoy more classes, be sure to visit us at aehelp.com and then join the premium version of our course. It is a one-time payment. You get lifetime access, and it only costs about $30 to $50 US. So it's a really good deal, and you get lots of videos, lots of live classes when you're a premium user. Okay, let's go to this next question. What do you usually eat for breakfast? Give me a nice full sentence answer for this one. Thank you, Carolina, for dropping the link into the chat. So instead of usually, you can use the word generally. It's a nice paraphrase. Generally, in the mornings, right? Breakfast is morning food. So in the mornings, I like to eat either cereal with milk, or porridge, as these are both quick and nutritious. This morning I had corn cereal with blueberries and 2% milk. It really helped to kickstart my day. Okay? All right. Can never spell porridge. There we go, porridge with a D. So again, repeat after me. What do you usually eat for breakfast? Generally, in the mornings, I like to eat either cereal with milk or porridge, as these are both quick and nutritious. This morning I had corn cereal with blueberries and 2% milk. It really helped to kickstart my day. Okay. So notice the answer, explanation, and then details. Is it really blueberries with corn cereal and 2% milk? No. I actually have my breakfast not far from here. It's porridge, yogurt, and blackberries this morning that I brought into my studio. But truth doesn't matter. Fluency, clear, accurate answers do matter. Okay. Risham has this answer for us. Risham says, I usually eat protein sandwiches such as paneer, sauté vegetables with healthy seasonal fruit smoothies like mango, blueberries, and strawberries. Okay. Risham, again, we're looking at a 6.5 here, maybe a 7, but still, where is the explanation? Why do you like that kind of a breakfast? Okay. All right. Ugulhan Nabieva has a little different answer for us. Ugulhan says this. Students, you have to capitalize your eyes, get into a good habit. Ugulhan says, well, I usually eat a bowl of cereal mixed with milk and dried fruits like banana chips. I find it is healthy and has nutrients for the early morning. Just this morning, I got it for breakfast. I had it for breakfast. Okay. And, you know, here, interestingly, you're seeing that, well, he's making corrections, so this is probably like a 6.5. But no, it's a band 7 to 7.5 because it has an explanation. So even with a couple of mistakes, the fluency and lexical resource marks help to improve coherence because you're giving a complete answer. Okay, so it's better to make a couple of mistakes in the IELTS and speak in nice full sentences than to not make mistakes and speak in really short sentences. Okay, so remember this tip, everybody. It's an important one. It is better to speak in fluent, complex sentences and maybe make a mistake or two than to speak in really short, simple sentences without mistakes. Okay, all right, keep that in mind for the IELTS. All right. Okay, students. Then the questions start to get a little bit more complicated. So in part 1, speaking, like the listening and the reading section and the writing section, become progressively more challenging. So that means that the English, the task becomes a little bit more and more difficult with every question. Okay. So nearing the end of part 1, you will likely have questions that are present perfect, or like this one that's conditional. We're going to do this one here. If you could eat any kind of food, what would it be and why? Give me a nice full sentence answer for this one. So if you could eat any kind of food, what would it be and why? Given the opportunity to savor any type of food, I would choose to have Alaskan king crab legs dipped in warm garlic butter, because I think this is one of the tastiest foods in the entire world. It has a soft and sweet texture and flavor that makes my taste buds scream. With joy. Unfortunately, I rarely have this food because it is very expensive. Okay. So nice full sentence answers, especially for these last couple of questions. So as these questions get more and more difficult in the speaking interview in part 1, they usually require a little bit more explanation as well. And this is definitely where you want to maybe add an example when possible. Okay. So if you could eat any kind of food, what would it be and why? Given the opportunity to savor any type of food, I would choose to have Alaskan king crab legs dipped in warm garlic butter, because I think this is one of the tastiest foods in the entire world. It has a soft and sweet texture and flavor that makes my taste buds scream with joy. Examiners will love this type of language, everybody. Make sure you repeat this after me. Makes my taste buds scream with joy. Taste buds are those little dots on the tongue that allow you to taste flavors in combination with your olfactory, your nose. Okay. So, yeah. And it's expensive. A couple of legs cost about $30 US. All right. Let's see what Risham would like to have. Okay. So Risham says, given a chance, I would love to eat authentic Indian cuisine, because it not only reminds me of my culture, but also satisfies, watch your grammar here, my cravings. You can use a plural here. Yesterday, I had traditional kheer with spicy dakla for dinner. And this is where you can use that classic idiom, and I was over the moon. Okay? Students, generally, idioms are dangerous. You do not need to use them. If you do use them, it can help your score. You just have to make sure that you're using them correctly. You don't want to just use an idiom to use an idiom. Okay? All right. Good. Alexander, here, let's take a look at what you just wrote here. So Alexander says, if I have no diet restrictions. Now, do you have diet restrictions, Alexander? Because if you do, you need to use the unreal condition here. So you have to say, if I were to have. That tells me that you do have diet restrictions. If you say, if I have no diet restrictions, then I'm not sure if you do or if you don't. But if you say, if I were to have no diet restrictions, I know that you definitely have some diet restrictions. So if I were to have no diet restrictions, I would eat pasta smelted with cheese, which I consider to be addicted to. Yeah, and I would probably add the word myself here, which I consider myself to be addicted to. I can eat this day and night. Yep. Okay. Just a little extra. And again, consider your explanations. Like why? Why are you addicted to it? Okay. All right. Students, after part 1, the examiner will say that is the end of part 1. We will now continue with part 2. For this part, you will have 1 minute to read the questions, think about your answers, then you will have 1 to 2 minutes to speak. Talk about a person you want to meet for a day. Your 1 minute preparation time begins now. Okay. Students, for part 2, think about an answer that's easy for your listener to understand. Okay. So here you could choose a person that everybody knows, like a famous sports player or athlete. Or you could choose someone that is, a family member you haven't seen in a long time. But just keep in mind, what's easier for the examiner to understand. If you talk about a family member, the examiner won't know that person, so you have to explain very clearly. If you choose to talk about a famous person, like an actor or an actress that you think the examiner might know, it could be a little bit easier because the examiner already has knowledge in their head. So keep that in mind. If you choose, let me put it this way. If you choose a topic that the examiner is familiar with, for example, let's say Bruno Mars. Okay, he's kind of top of the charts these days, a famous American singer. Versus somebody they don't know. My cousin Andrew. Okay. It can help coherence and thus help to achieve a higher band score. Okay, so keep this tip in mind, everybody. Okay, all right. Jack says, can we talk about Elon Musk? You can, sure, why not? I might not choose a person who is too popular, like, I wouldn't choose somebody that maybe half of the candidates are choosing. Okay. Right? And it's just it's a logical tip, right? Obviously, if the examiner knows the individual, then it's going to be easier for them to imagine what you're saying, even if they don't understand every word. If they don't, then it's more difficult. So naturally, the coherence score suffers more. Okay? Abraham says, I haven't heard this before. Alexander says, Musk is probably unpopular now. Maybe, but any news is good news, right? So, okay, so think about a person that you would like to meet for a day. We'll start up a little bit of voice conversation here through Zoom. Okay. Let me just shrink this down a bit. This is looking a bit big, a little bit smaller. You can see it a little bit better. Okay. Did anybody tell me that the screen was a little bit big? You can always tell me that. Okay. All right. So we'll do a little bit of Zoom interaction through YouTube here, speaking with students. Everybody, if you're enjoying this lesson and you want more Zoom sessions, again, just join us at aehelp.com. So again, by clicking that big red button. And then once you do that, you'll have a My Student account and you'll get Zoom links every single week. And you can go through the course and the materials, hundreds of hours of great learning with audio CDs, all original content. So you are really good to go there. Great value for your dollar as well. Okay, General IELTS is this one, gieltshelp.com. Let's get into some Zoom sessions here. Let me share the Zoom link with you as I start up the Zoom. There it is in the chat. So everybody, I just dropped the Zoom link right here into the chat. You can click on that and then volunteer to speak. I will start the Zoom session now. And I will put on my headphones so I can hear you. All right, there we go. While you're linking up, everybody, just a little bit of instructions here. These Zoom classes, again, they happen tomorrow and on Friday for premium users. And students here, you see the React option. That's where you can raise your hand to volunteer. Okay. We've got 5 people ready to go. Let's get them in here. Alexander, Zoriana, Minnie. In here. Alexander, Zoriana. Okay. All right. Let's start with Minnie. Minnie, can you unmute yourself, please?
How are you?
Hi, Minnie. I am doing well, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing great. Little bit nervous because I have exam tomorrow.
I know. And we have an actual speaking practice today, do we not?
Yes.
A little bit later in the day. That's fantastic. Yeah, students, you can book speaking practice with me one-on-one through the website as well. Minnie's got one coming up, and it's a good idea to do that before your test, Minnie. So don't be nervous, Minnie. You have good English. I think you'll do just fine. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And may I ask, your speaking, is it face-to-face or is it through the computer screen?
Face to face.
Okay, yeah, it's usually the best. So that's good. Have you done the IELTS before?
Yes. I had given 2 times before.
Okay. Well, hopefully it'll go well this time. Yeah, again, don't stress, Minnie. You've got good English, and your language always gets better and better. So, okay, are you ready for some questions?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's do it. So welcome to the speaking section of the IELTS exam. We are conducting this test in London, Ontario at Exam Center 7938Z. Let's begin. May I see your identification?
Certainly here it is. Please have a look.
What is your full name?
My full name is Minnie Patel. Please call me my first name, Minnie.
Okay, Minnie, remember, don't be nervous and don't speak too fast. The examiner won't tell you that because they're not allowed to, but you need to remember that. Just stay calm, speak slowly, okay? Don't speak too fast.
Okay.
All right. For part 1, I will ask you a couple of questions to get to know you better and some questions on a general topic. Do you work or study?
Currently, I'm working full time in a physiotherapy clinic as a physiotherapist assistant, and I would love to do that work and connect with uh, uh, people who have injuries, and I would love to heal their not only the physical stress but also the emotional one.
Okay. What do you like to do in your free time?
In my spare time, I would love to do some meditation and yoga, as it not only boost my energy level but also keep me calm and give me way to do more productive in the life.
Let's talk about food. How often do you eat in a day?
I generally eat 3 times in a day. My breakfast would be heavy because I didn't get time to eat lunch properly because I was busy in my with my patients. So and dinner would be the light as it can easily digest, and I didn't get any problems such as bloating.
Do you like to cook? Why or why not?
Yes, I would love to cook, especially the authentic Indian food, because I have learned so many recipes to my mom, and she always cooked very delicious food, and I got the same hand, which my husband told me that your cooking pattern is really great, and I recently cooked the Indian authentic kheer, and he loved it a lot.
Okay. All right, Minnie, I'm going to stop there and just give you a bit of feedback real quick. And of course, we're going to do a full speaking later today with lots more feedback. But even until then, just to practice this, okay? This is really
Okay.
good because you can practice my tips already for later on in the day. Okay, so you're doing really well. And I think you would get like a band 775 here, no problem. What's your target goal?
6.5.
6.5. Okay, well, you definitely get at least 6.5 in your speaking, for sure. Um, there's one repetitive mistake. You're using the word would
Mm,
way too much. It's not used like that. Okay. Be really careful with modals, students. In the speaking, some teachers, some videos, they will say use would and could. But I think modal language is actually not good in communication in the speaking. Do you know why, Minnie? Do you know why I say that?
it shows the probability, not the surety.
Exactly. It lacks confidence. Although modal language like would, could, may, might, does sound polite. Okay, I agree with that. Okay, so is polite. It is confusing. So it's ironic. Sometimes when we're being really polite, we're confusing people, and people end up thinking, "What is this person trying to say? Do they do it? Do they not do it?" So is polite, but lacks confidence and leads to confusion. So really limit this in your IELTS speaking and writing.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So when I asked you, uh, what do you like to do in your free time? You said, in my spare time, I would love to do some meditation. It would sound way better to say, I meditate. So in my spare time, I meditate and do yoga as this boosts my energy and helps to keep me calm. Also, don't overspeak. So, in many of these answers, Minnie,
Mhm.
you had a good answer, you had a good explanation, but then you kept explaining. Instead, think of an example or just stop. Don't over explain because over explanations often lead to multiple mistakes and confusion. Okay, so that's my second tip is once you've finished your explanation, don't over explain or don't repeat. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Do not over explain. All right, really important. I think you did that a couple of times, and that's where you started losing marks. Like you had a band 8, you had a band 8.5 with your answer and your explanation, and then you kept explaining, and I was like, well, unfortunately, that's a mistake, and now I can't give you the band 8, 8.5. So don't over explain. Once you realize that you've given the explanation, just stop. Okay, Minnie?
Okay, sir.
All right. So,
So, I have one question.
mhm.
So in the part one and part three, like how many lines do we have to speak? Like what's the difference in both the part?
Um, it really depends on the question. It's usually 2 to 3 sentences. A couple of complex compound sentences. As far as exactly how many words, it's hard to say. Like between 30 and 50 words. It depends really on the question and what you're saying and how you're saying it. In part one, there's simpler questions, so usually about 30 words is enough, and in part 3 they're a bit more complex, so you're close to double, like maybe 50
Okay.
to 60 words maximum. Depends if you're also adding an example or not. So you have to consider that, okay? But it's more just focus on answer, explanation, sometimes an example, and then stop. Okay, you don't need explanation, 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 or you don't need explanation, example, example. You just need one of each. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay, you're welcome, Minnie. Practice those, and then we'll talk a little bit later today and get you feeling confident for your test tomorrow. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Minnie. Okay, everybody, give Minnie a thumbs up. She's doing a great job, and maybe wish her good luck for tomorrow's exam. So I'll add that into the chat here. Good luck, Minnie, for tomorrow. And we'll speak later as well. Okay. All right. Gazi, why don't you unmute yourself? You're here. Your super chat donations are always
Hello,
welcome.
Adrian.
Hi, Gazi. How are you?
I'm fine. How about you?
I'm doing good, thanks. You also have an exam coming up soon, do you not?
Yeah, I'm also on the list, but my exam on Saturday, actually.
Yours is on Saturday. Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe you and Minnie will have the same examiner. No, probably not. Minnie's in Ontario. You're in Newfoundland, so probably not. But who knows?
Yeah, because it is in person. I don't think so. Maybe
Yeah,
we'll
well,
have a different guy. But anyways, yeah, I will be fine.
That's the right attitude, Gazi. You'll be good.
That's because of you. Yeah, I just attend this class to. I need some encouragement. That's it.
A morale boost. We can call it that.
Yeah.
A morale boost.
Yeah, that's true. Morally.
Yeah. Morale boost means to give confidence.
Yeah.
Okay, well, yeah, let's talk a little bit more about food. Are you ready?
Yeah, okay.
All right. What is your favorite food, and what do you like about it?
Well, I'm not a big fan for food, but if I have to choose, I will go with there's a popular meal in our culture is called kabsa. It's mix rice and chicken, and yeah, I love this more than other meals, and it's easy to prepare it.
If you could eat any kind of food, what would it be and why?
Given a chance to try another kind of food, I would like to try smoked codfish. I didn't try this meal before. I just heard about it and I watched it on YouTube. That's because the codfish is rich in mineral and the omega, especially omega-3, and is rich in protein as well.
Okay. That's really good, Gazi. Um, all right. Smoked cod. Yeah, it'd be good for
Yes,
sure.
smoked cod. Yeah.
Have you actually had it before?
No, I didn't try it,
Oh,
but
really? You really haven't tried it? Okay, you definitely should.
yeah.
It's very tasty. I mean, yes, it's healthy, but it's also very
Mm.
tasty. Smoked cod or smoked salmon. Super
Mm.
delicious.
Yes,
Okay.
so.
Yeah. Remember your present perfect, Gazi. And so, um, here in this response, if you say, given a chance to try another kind of food, I would like to try smoked codfish. I didn't try this meal before. This should be present perfect. I haven't tried.
Mm.
Do you know
Yeah,
why it's.
even if I didn't try it before, or
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Do you know why um, we use present
yeah,
perfect here?
that makes sense because I didn't try so far. I didn't try it before until this moment. Yes, is much better the present perfect. I haven't tried
Yeah.
it yet.
Yeah, and for those students who were in the last few classes when we talked about present perfect, and you remember
Mhm.
present perfect is used for experience, expectation, change over time, repetition over time, and achievement, right? Those are the ideas that are emphasized by present perfect. The negatives are also true. So
Yeah.
if you haven't had the experience or the expectation hasn't been met, or you haven't won yet, then
Mm.
we always use the present perfect there when we want to tell the listener that we would like to do that. So, for example, I
Yes.
haven't won a chess tournament yet, but I'm practicing chess every day, so one day I might. Right? So I use the present
Mm.
perfect because I don't have the achievement, but I hope to have the achievement. Okay?
Yeah. So we can mix it with the present, even the simple present, as will be fine.
Absolutely. Yeah. So
Okay.
anytime you want to have, because does the idea, everyone, is that desire, the the wanting, it doesn't disappear. So you haven't tried cod yet, but
Mm.
your desire, your wish to try cod, it started at some point in the past. You're thinking about it every time the topic of fish or smoked fish or some different kind of food comes up, and probably in the future you will again, right? So one day you'll find
Yes.
yourself in a nice fish market, maybe tomorrow, somewhere there
Yeah.
in Newfoundland. You'll see some smoked cod and you'll go, you know what, I'll take a piece of smoked cod. So
Yeah.
right,
Could be any time.
could
Yeah,
be any
that's
time. So pay attention to those, okay, Gazi?
okay. Yeah, we'll do that.
All right. Okay, and make sure to, I'm sure you will come tomorrow and Friday for the premium classes, so volunteer there, and then
Yeah.
we'll give you some chance to get ready for that test on Saturday, okay?
Yeah, I will be tomorrow there, but I'm afraid I cannot be at the class in the class on Friday. I just have a medical appointment for one of the children, so
Okay, noted, no worries.
yeah.
Then come
Oh.
tomorrow and volunteer, okay?
Okay, sure. I just have some question for you regarding the writing, the structure of the essay. I will ask them for you tomorrow.
Perfect time. Tomorrow's a writing
Okay.
class. Okay, thank you,
Okay.
Gazi.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Adrian. Have a nice day.
Okay, thank you, Gazi. All right, everybody. Wish Gazi good luck on his test or not tomorrow, Saturday, I should say. Okay. Maya, why don't you unmute yourself?
Hello, Adrian.
How are you, Maya?
I'm fine. How are you doing?
I'm good. You're a little bit quiet, so I'm going to turn up the volume here. Maya, have we
Can you hear
spoken?
me?
Yeah, I can. Have we spoken before, Maya?
Yes, it's been a year, and it's nice to see you and talk to you again.
Okay.
It's been a year. I disappeared because I've done IELTS exam. That's why I did it about a year ago or something.
Mm-hmm. How did it go?
Great. You know what? I want to say thank you to you, Adrian, because the things that you are doing here, the channel, the resources that you're providing is really helpful, and I
Oh,
mean it. Yes, it's And the mock exam that we are having here and the real exam is completely similar, same thing. I'm
Okay.
saying.
Yeah,
I want to thank you.
You're very welcome, Maya, and I appreciate you coming back and sharing that
Yes,
with everybody.
this time I need above 7.5, so I'm back.
you need a boost. Okay, all right.
I need a boost, right?
Okay, all right. Well, we'll focus on part 2, maybe a couple of part 3 questions. Yeah, and you're absolutely right. I mean, really, the IELTS is not. It's not trying to trick students. I think a lot of students think that they're there to get your money or to trick you or make life difficult, and it's really not. They really are trying to understand your level of English, and they're basing that on both language, like vocabulary and grammar, and communication strategy, like how well do your answers make sense, right? So, yeah. Okay. So Maya, let's jump into part 2 here. Okay.
Okay. Part
Okay.
2, the part that I failed at the exam. Okay.
So it's good to focus on it. So at this point, the examiner will say that is the end of part 1. We will now continue to part 2. For this part, you will see some questions. You will have 1 minute to read these questions, think about your answers, then you will have 1 to 2 minutes to speak. You can take notes in the 1 minute preparation time if you wish. Is that clear?
Yes, it is.
Okay, then talk about a person you want to meet for a day. Your 1 minute preparation time begins now. So Maya, we've had a chance to think about this because I introduced this earlier in the lesson. Did you prepare an answer?
Yes, a little bit. Yes.
Okay, all right. Then I'll just start you off. So your 1 minute preparation time is up. Please begin speaking.
Okay, well, if I had a chance to meet a person for a day, I would say persons. I would pick 2 persons. One is Einstein and second one is Isaac Newton. Why would I choose scientists? Because I like being the dumbest person in the room and surrounded with the people with great minds like Einstein and Isaac Newton. And I would ask them a lot of questions like why they what motivates them keep going, why they wonder about this beautiful universe, and what makes them to not give up. And okay, what else?
Think personality, action.
Personality, action.
What is Einstein like? What is Isaac Newton like?
Well, they're very...
Okay, Maya, I'm going to stop for 1 second. I'm going to rewind you, okay? Just like we can rewind those old cassette tapes. I think you have amazing English. I think you should be getting a band 8.5, even a 9 with your English, okay? But instead of...
9, okay.
I'm serious. But instead of saying what you want to say on the IELTS, you have to think about what you need to say on the IELTS, not what you want to say in the IELTS, okay? First of all, we're going to redo this, but I'm going to give you a couple of tips, okay? First of all, answer the question. If it's a person for a day, pick a person. Don't pick 2 people, okay? So either Einstein or Isaac Newton, okay? Not both, all right? Keep it simple. So the examiner is like an alien to you. Okay, what that means is that the examiner is smart. They understand you. They interpret what you say, but they don't know what you know. So don't assume that the examiner knows Albert Einstein. Don't assume that the examiner knows about Albert Einstein what you know about Albert Einstein. Same thing with Isaac Newton. So it's okay to say that Isaac Newton is one of the most famous scientists, physicists, mathematicians in the world. Maybe the examiner knows that, maybe they don't. It doesn't matter. You want to explain that. Okay, so just like you're explaining it to a classroom full of middle school kids who are not overly familiar with Isaac Newton, explain what these people did, like Isaac Newton coming up with the theory of gravity or calculus and working on the mirror telescope. So give those details. They worked tirelessly, spending hours in the laboratory to come up with history-changing formulas and equations, right? So get into those details of their personalities. Do you understand what I mean?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
And then also focus on the questions, right? So where do you want to meet them? I would love to meet Einstein in his laboratory in the US, or even earlier when he was first starting his scientific journey in Austria, right? So, or on the boat as he was traveling from Europe over to America, right? It would give us a chance to speak quite a bit to each other for that 24 hours. Okay, so stick to the questions. One person, okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's try it again. Talk about a person you want to meet for a day.
Right. If I had a chance to meet a person for a day, it would be definitely Einstein. Why would I pick Einstein? Because he's genius. He has this brilliant mind, and I would like to meet him in his laboratory, in his era of living, and I probably would talk. I would probably we keep listening to him with open mouth. I wouldn't ask him a lot of questions, but the thing that I wonder about him, what makes him keep going, what motivates him, why he wonders about this great universe, how it works. And
Tell me about Einstein. Who is Einstein?
Einstein is a physicist, and he has a lot of theories. One of the famous theories is of special relativity, which he introduced it at the beginning of 1905, if I'm not mistaken. And
How did that change the world?
yeah.
How did that change the world?
Well, he's explained how light can act like a Okay, I'm stuck here.
That's okay. Just keep it simple. You're thinking too scientific. You're being too clever. You want to keep it simple. So his theory, unfortunately, resulted in the nuclear bomb, but it also resulted in a lot of positive developments for humanity. For instance, in the field of medicine, CAT scans, or the MRI. So you can kind of just talk generally
Yes.
about these individuals, right?
The second part also is like it's not only English, it's also like telling story or something. You have to practice storytelling.
That's exactly it, Maya. I think
Yes.
for you, the focus has to be on your storytelling and not your English.
Not
I
bad.
think your English is fantastic. I think it's the storytelling part that you have to really focus on. Okay.
Yeah, yes, and I failed this part. I should have listened to you. Remember, you always saying like, don't go into emotional topic,
Yep.
and I did go into emotional topic and failed because
Yeah.
I barely talked. Second part.
Yeah, it's so important to remember that in the IELTS, you're just there to deliver good, fluent, complete language.
Yes,
That's
yes.
it, right? Okay, Maya,
Right.
thank you so much for volunteering. Come back and practice more. I'll help you get there, okay?
Okay, thank you, Adrian. Thank you for your time and work. Thank
For
you
sure.
everything.
You're very welcome, Maya.
Okay.
Okay, thanks for
Thank
volunteering.
you. Bye. Have a good day.
Bye. You too. All right. That was Maya, everybody. And I'm going to end our Zoom chat there. Lots of important tips. Yeah, we all have strengths. We all have weaknesses. It's important to identify what those are and then target those strengths and weaknesses. So whether it's overuse of modals like with Minnie, or paying a bit more attention to complex grammar like present perfect with Gazi, or keeping an eye on the narrative like it is for Maya, it's important to identify those, okay? And then work on those. Students, join us at aehelp.com for academic IELTS, gieltshelp.com for general IELTS. That way you can access the premium lessons tomorrow and Friday that are all through Zoom. I have to get going. We're out of time. We're actually over time. But that's okay. I had so much fun with all of you today, and I hope that you did too. Have a fantastic rest of your evening or day wherever you are in the world. I see my camera even fell asleep here at some point. There I am, back on the screen. Thank you so much, students. Enjoy every single moment of your day and of practicing and using English. I'm Adrian. I'm signing out from beautiful Victoria here in Western Canada. Bye for now.